most views, or the most likes. But you guys in the comments really, really, really made my day. So thank you guys for the ones who commented on that video. You guys are awesome. Also, I just had a lot of fun filming that last video. Part 2 is coming out tomorrow. So if you have not watched part 1, or even what we're talking about, make sure you go check out yesterday's video. But today we are going to be talking, the next part, well, the next episode of my top 10 series I'm sort of bringing back on my channel. Every week, probably every weekend, I'm going to be doing another top 10. Last week's was top 10 centers. This week's is top 10 shooting guards, which, my god, it's actually a lot harder than you guys can think. Shooting guards are definitely not as a deep position in the NBA, especially compared to, the 90s, 2000s, maybe even 2010s. But wow, it is very top heavy, and the list gets very interesting at the very top, so make sure you guys stick around for that at the end of the video. Also, drop a like, subscribe if you're into, basketball, sports, gaming, that sort of jazz type of videos. Drop some role plays in every once in a while. What am I missing? Oh yeah, at the start of all my top 10 videos, or even just any basketball video, when I talk about basketball, these are just my opinion. My opinion means nothing. It is just my opinion. I'm a random guy on YouTube talking basketball in ASMR. So whatever I say, whatever I rank, whatever player doesn't make the list. Just my opinion. You can have your opinion. That's awesome. Comment down below. Maybe your top 10, this, that, and the other. That's awesome. But my opinion doesn't mean anything. It's not set in stone. So I always have to say that at the start of my videos nowadays. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and let's get started. And also, if you guys want me to do another one of these top 10 videos with my old writing setup, let me know also in the comments if you guys would rather, well, maybe not rather, but maybe want me to do a top 10 video while, doing some writing sounds like I used to do. But a lot of you guys really enjoy these sort of face-to-face ones because it probably is more intriguing to watch than just my hands writing stuff down and talking. So let me know also about that. But in today's top 10, doing top 10 shooting guards, I have them written down on my phone in my notes. And like I said, the list is actually pretty interesting and hard to do. I've done research, which is just thoughts and looking up some sort of stats, but I have my top 10 here. Obviously, top 10, starting at 10, is Zach Lavine. Zach Lavine, I feel like, is a nice number 10 spot. I'm also doing these based off of their positions on ESPN. So a lot of people in my last video said, "Oh, you're missing Kristaps Porzingis as well." Kristaps Porzingis is a really good power forward and center, but he is listed on ESPN as a power forward, so he's not going to be on that list. So this video as well, I'm only going to be doing what they're based off of on the ESPN website. So for Zach Lavine, number 10. Zach Lavine this season averaged 25.5 points per game, 4 assists as well. Definitely a pretty decent year. His best year so far, actually. Also averaged 1.5 assists, so gets his hands, around the ball a lot, which is really good. 4 rebounds as well. I feel like number 10 for Zach Lavine is really good. Now, there's, like I said, going to be some players left off this list, but I feel like when also naming Zach Lavine on this list, like, his potential is still very good. He is still only, it doesn't say. Experienced 6 years, where's his age? Oh, he's 25, sorry. He's 25 years old, so still not even in his prime yet. And I feel like these stats will be, more immaculate playing on a more important team. No offense to any Bulls fans out there, you'll get there one day, very soon. But, if some player was doing this on, like, a bigger name team, I feel like it'd probably be more well known and out there that, Zach Lavine is the real deal. He definitely has added a very decent three-point shot to his game, averaging almost 40% on 8 attempts per game, which is pretty good, making 3 to 4 shots, threes a game. It's 12 easy points a game. We all know Zach Lavine is a crazy athlete, great dunker, but I really loved how he transitioned his game away from that, not sort of buying into the, oh, I'm the best dunker in the league, I can nice three-point shot, jump shooting, scoring style. His ball handling's really good. Obviously on the defensive end is where he sort of lacks, and that's why he's not super high on this list. Defense efficiency is also pretty bad. He seems pretty streaky at some point in times. And also, I would like to see him gain a little bit more of a confident facilitating game. There's another really good shooting guard on this list who has really good facilitating, who scores a lot like Zach Lavine, but just at a higher level. So, if Zach Lavine can get there, I feel like he'll reach, new heights. It's definitely on my list because I love Zach Lavine. I feel like Zach Lavine, deserves more shine. All-star spots, shout-outs, maybe not on a team, but maybe runner-ups and stuff like that. I would love to see that. I feel like he definitely deserves it. So yeah, number 10, Zach Lavine, really good start. And at number 9 here, hopefully I don't go through these too fast, but at number 9, I have my boy playing on the Portland Trail Blazers, CJ McCollum. Yes, CJ McCollum, averaging 22 points per game, 4 rebounds, and almost 5 assists. CJ has always been a very decent guard since about 2015, 2016, averaging plus 20 points per game every year since then, which is why I have him pretty high up on not pretty high, I have him on the list because he is such an efficient scorer, and that's why he's so important. CJ, you will guarantee CJ will score at least 20 points a game, no less, which is really awesome. Plus his ball handling ability is crazy. CJ could be the point guard of any team in the league. Well, a lot of teams in the league. Obviously not Portland because Damian Lillard is a better player, but CJ could play point guard for a lot of different teams, which is crazy. He's definitely a very smart player, very capable. While he's one of the best, he is maybe the best mid-range shooter in the entire NBA. This dude would eat buckets in the 90s or 80s if he could play it during those eras. And I really like that about him, so that's why I have him ranked at least over Zach, because sure, Zach can probably score higher and is more flashy of a player, but I think basketball IQ-wise, play-wise, team-wise, I think he could fit more on different teams. And facilitating and stuff like that, I just feel like he's probably a better player in that way as well. On the opposite end, having a short shooting guard like CJ is just so bad. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you would know that I am on the bandwagon of trading CJ McCollum. I know, very sad. I love CJ McCollum, but you can't win championships with 2 small ball backcourt players. It's just never gonna happen. It hasn't happened since the 80s with Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. I would really like to see a nice CJ trade sometime, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen because him and Dame are so close, and CJ's so close with the entire franchise. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but that's in my opinion. It should happen. And just defensive-wise, it's kind of the same. He's not that great at defense. Now, again, he's a very smart player, so he gets in front of people really well. He plays passing lanes really well, but you can see times where they eat at CJ a lot, and it's pretty sad. So that's definitely another thing. But yeah, like I said, CJ could easily be the point guard or 2 guard of a lot of different teams in the NBA. A lot of different teams in the NBA probably want CJ McCollum, Milwaukee or Miami or some other team that just really needs that extra push to get over the hump. I think I've heard the Nets as well. So I feel like CJ definitely deserves to be on this list. I think number 9. I think 10, 9, 8 is definitely a good spot for him. No more, no less. Next on the list here, let's see. Is definitely a player who sometimes I think plays pretty decent at the small forward position, but on ESPN and what I think he should be playing is the shooting guard position, and that is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown from the Boston Celtics. I've said this before. I would so love to have Jaylen Brown on my team. I feel like Jaylen Brown is almost like the perfect shooting guard in my opinion. Now, obviously, there's better shooting guards out there who score better, facilitate better, defense better, but man, Jaylen Brown is just the pure definition of all around. He's a really good offensive player, averaging 20 points per game. He can rebound. Defense, immaculate. Really good perimeter defense. He's arguably the best defender on that team, and they have Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum. Now he obviously had a pretty good breakout year this year compared to last year, only averaging 13 points to average a steal a game, 6 rebounds, like I said, about half a block, which is pretty great, and almost 40% three-point shooting, while averaging 6 attempts a game. So again, easy buckets from 3, a lot of corner threes. But there's always a but for a lot of these players. I gotta give both sides to arguments and stuff like that. Facilitating, only averaging 2 assists a game, especially for the 2 guard. It's a guard. It's not the point guard, but it's still a guard. I feel like he still needs to add that a little bit more to his game, especially playing with players like Kemba and Jason Tatum, and maybe if they do get another big on the Celtics, like a Drummond Capella type player, he's gonna need to facilitate the ball a little bit more. I get it that he's not gonna get a lot of touches because he has some great players on the team, like Kemba, Jason Tatum, yada yada yada. But I feel like he needs to add more to his game, more off the dribble, sort of able to pick up his dribble and sort of get to the rim, get a good shot off by himself, and not really have to worry about team play to be able to score. Like Jason Tatum can get the ball anywhere on the court and create a good shot for himself. Same thing with Kemba. So if Jaylen Brown can get that for himself, that's scary. But yeah, again, Zach Lavine is arguably a better scorer. CJ's arguably a better scorer, but the all-around goodness of Jaylen Brown is why I actually rank them over him. So, ranking him over them. Sorry. Next up on the list is number 7, and this player is definitely one that his defense shows up a lot more than his offense, but is still good on offense. And that is Jrue Holiday. I know this one's actually kind of controversial, and definitely Jaylen Brown and Jrue Holiday are players and spots you could switch very easily. All these players, you can switch and swap any way you want to, but the only reason why I really rank Jrue Holiday over Jaylen Brown is not only Jaylen Brown, sometimes I've heard, from interviews and stuff like that, that he is the toughest perimeter defender on a lot of guards. He has to go up against, point guards mostly. He plays the 2 guard a lot now. Obviously with getting Lonzo Ball, so he's now a, ESPN shooting guard. Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrooks, Curry's, he guards the best perimeter player on every team. So he knows how to play great defense on great players, and that's why I maybe rank him over Jaylen Brown. But also averaging 20 points per game and 7 assists. He has 6.9, but 7 assists if you round up. That's crazy. So not only is he a really good and great defender, a really good scorer, but he can also run a point guard, 2 guard, can facilitate like that. Like, I think he's a little bit better in that sense. Now, obviously, Jaylen Brown is still 24. He's still a baby in NBA terms. But I feel like that's why I maybe rank him over him, in my opinion now. Jrue Holiday averaged 21 points per game last season, but again, getting, Lonzo Ingram, Zion, sort of now, he needs to integrate into the team. It's probably better for him to take a little bit of a step back. Let Zion, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram sort of take the spotlights and, work as a team together. That's crazy. He averaged almost 2 steals a game as well. Almost a block, 0.8. Almost a block for a, 6'4"? Let's see here. He's listed at 6'3", but I'll give him 6'4". He's like a 6'4" guard, getting almost a block a game. Like, that's awesome. Let's see, shooting wise. Yeah, he's averaging 35% on 6 attempts a game from 3, 45% from the field. Pretty awesome. All under 35 minutes a game as well. So, very efficient. Definitely a player a lot of teams, again, are looking after, like CJ, we were just talking about. Nets, Milwaukee, maybe even a Miami Heat trade somewhere. So, I would like to see that happen. I think Jrue Holiday has been in the league and been on a lot of struggling teams for a very long time. I think he deserves that little bit of a shine, but he might even get that on the Pelicans, obviously, with an upcoming season. They looked okay throughout the year, and obviously with the new head coach, I really hope he has a little bit more faith in Zion than Alvin Gentry did. So I hope Zion gets a little bit more of a push, because man, when Zion was playing, they were looking pretty good, not gonna lie. So hopefully he gets that full playing time he deserves, and maybe that team grows, and maybe they do make a doesn't need to go anywhere. Next up on the list here is number 6. And guys, 6 through 4 were one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. It's definitely one of the hardest decisions I've ever done on a top 10 video. Now these top, 6, 5, and 4, you could switch so easily, even easier than the names we already said. So my listings here for 6 through 4 are so just like you can all block them in basically one spot. So when I say these names and these spots, not like it's like a big jump between them. It's just what I've been feeling, and I have to like nitpick stuff to like rank people over other people. So please keep that in mind when I rank these guys. But at number 6, I'm going to have to go with Donovan Mitchell. And the reason why, one of the big reasons why I say Donovan Mitchell now, the dude's been in the NBA for only 3 years. And it might be a little bit of recency biased if I ranked him any higher, because we did see him literally go off in the playoffs. One of the best single series stats we've seen in a long time, putting up 50 points per game, pop, 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 against a pretty good team in the Denver Nuggets. Obviously not a really good defensive team, but against a really good team in the Denver Nuggets. You know, going blow for blow with Jamal Murray and just really great games. Also a very good defender as well. He averaged 24 points per game, a block, 4 assists, 4 rebounds on 36% from 3 on almost 7 shots a game. That's pretty crazy. Field goal percentage is 45%, which again is pretty good. Everything here looks really good, and I know I feel so bad for ranking him lower than some of the other players I'm about to say, but he's been in the league for 3 years, and I really don't want to be like, oh, he's there he is, you know, he's this and this and this. I really want to give it to him for that, but I think just as a single player, he is really good. He's also playing on a very good team, better teams than the other players I'm about to list, so I also have to keep that in mind. You know, with Rudy Gobert and Bogdanovic, Mike Conley, they have a pretty decent team with them, and obviously it's going to take an effect now. Also a little bit undersized at the shooting guard position at 6'1". When I first thought he came into the league, I thought he was like 6'4", and then he was 6'3", and now he's 6'1". So not only is he CJ McCollum undersized, he is point guard in the NBA undersized at 6'1". Like the average for a point guard is 6'3". So another reason why I have him ranked a little bit lower. Facilitating, not that great. Only 4 assists a game. I would really love to see him, you know, get better at that. Also, just being a team leader, again nitpicking, but team leadership wise, he's the best player and most talented player. Arguably even more talented than what Gordon Hayward was on that team. You know, when Gordon Hayward was in his prime. You know, I'm talking like probably best player since maybe like prime Darren Williams. You know, that's saying a lot. When Darren Williams in his prime. So, I really like Donovan Mitchell. His game is crazy, like I guess mini-sized Dwayne Wade, and I think he can get, you know, that super, maybe not superstardom, but definitely easy all-star spot for him for sure. But I think for right now, he's very young, he's undersized, and I think this spot, again, 6 through 4, you can place him easily. And at number 5 is another player which was really hard ranking him, because he is offensively gifted and talented and scoring wise, and even facilitating wise, he's not that bad. Defense, he's not that bad, but on a bad team. So I'm gonna go with Bradley Beal at number 5. Bradley Beal is a offensive juggernaut on his own, averaging 30 points per game, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty tough to do that over a steal a game, 6 assists a game. Yes, 6 assists a game, which is pretty good for that much of a scoring output. He's also facilitating the ball pretty well, which is really good to see. Like I said, over a steal a game, really good. Let's see, he's averaging 35% on 8 3-point shots a game. Again, not bad. players like a CJ, like Jrue Holiday, where a lot of teams are trying to pick up some slack at, and they really want to get him. Like, the Nets trade talks, Milwaukee trade talks, a lot of team trade talks, and I really just hope that it happens. The Wizards need a restart. They need to hit that big red button and just blow the team up. Get rid of Beal, obviously keep Rui, keep some other players that they have. Obviously, they're not going to be able to get rid of John Wall. I don't think anyone's going to want to touch that contract. But if they can, that'd be awesome. And just restart the team, play through the draft, and hopefully some players will come along the way. And Bradley Beal's a really good player. But again, playing on a really bad team, it's just like you don't know if it's padded stats or not. And that's why it's really hard to rank him in this 4 through 6 range, because it's like, yes, by himself he is an amazing player. Offense, pretty good defender, facilitating, can get a bucket easily, great off the dribble, pick up dribble basketball is really good. But again, a little undersized, 6'3". He's a good defender, but not really that special. And playing on a bad team, it's really tough to tell. But I think Bradley Beal can definitely keep this sort of playing style up, even playing on a great team. I guess we'll have to see. But number 5, I have Bradley Beal. Again, this block of players is very tough. So, alrighty. Now at number 4. Again, pretty tough decision, but it's gotta be Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker at 4 is like nearly perfect. The dude is just, he is literally a superstar. Like, when you watch this guy play basketball, I would literally watch Devin Booker play on the worst team, not only in the NBA, but in the world. Because Devin Booker is just, he's money, dude. He's so fun to watch. I may be a little biased when saying that, but I just love watching Devin Booker play. He's one of my favorite players to watch for sure. Devin Booker this past season averaged nearly 27 points per game, almost a steal, 6.5 assists, 4 rebounds, 90% free throw shooting. That's definitely something you should keep in mind. 35% from 3 on 6 attempts, and from the field, 48.9% from the field. That's almost 50% of his shots always boom, 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 going in. That's definitely crazy. Yeah, man, Devin Booker is just so fun to watch. He's again one of the best scorers in the NBA, like pure bucket getters in the NBA for sure. A really good facilitator. Like, there have definitely been times where I've said and thought Devin Booker should just be the starting point guard for the Suns. If the Suns can somehow get a really good 2 guard, move Devin Booker to the point guard, and you'll be totally fine. That'd be awesome. So, Devin Booker, good facilitator, scorer. You can see that he can probably be the best player on a team, maybe someday. I don't think he's there yet, because, on the other hand, definitely not the best defender. He averages almost a steal a game, which is fine, but when watching games, he's not, staying in front of the other team's best player. He, stands his ground, but he's not going to be stopping anyone, you know what I mean? Which is obviously something you'd really want in a all-around player. Team leadership-wise, I really like Devin Booker as an individual, but in a team scenario, he seems very passive and to himself and kind of quiet, and I would really like to see him be more vocal as a leader. And I think that's why he could never maybe be the best player on like a championship team. He doesn't have that it factor like a lot of these Curry, Dame, LeBron, Chris Paul, Westbrook type of players have, where they're just like, okay, here, hey team, we gotta do this, and this. Let's get it done. He doesn't really have that, and maybe he will develop that again. I feel like Devin Booker has been in the league for 22 years, and he's only 24 years old. So he's been in the league for 5 years. So he's been in the league since he was 19. So that's pretty crazy. And he's always been pretty good. So again, maybe 2-3 years from now, maybe he does develop that, and that's awesome. And he definitely has potential to be, not only a top 3, top 2, maybe even the best shooting guard in the league at maybe one day and age, but a top player in the league for sure. Okay, so now we're at let's see, his shooting percentage is 40, 40, 40, not rounding, straight up 40% on his 7 threes attempted. Yeah, we all know Klay Thompson is maybe arguably, he's definitely arguably, not he is, but he is arguably the best shooter in the NBA. Spot up shooter, maybe the best. He's also maybe the like NBA Jam on fire type of players in the NBA as well. Like he gets an NBA 2K takeover badge, so easy. And you know when he gets going, it's really hard to stop. But not only that, he's an amazing scorer. You know, mid-range 3-point shot, he can even get off the dribble a little bit. But the dude is a lockdown defender. The dude will guard your best players, your best teams, your team's best perimeter player. Sorry, I can't talk right now. And it's awesome. It's really great that he can do it on both sides of the floor. Again, I can't really make him any higher. At one point in time, yes, Klay Thompson was definitely in contention for the best number 1 spot. But coming off a pretty bad injury that looked pretty nasty. Obviously, I think it was an Achilles or some sort of big major leg injury. But I just obviously hope that's totally fine and everything was okay with that. But well, it seems like it was because it seemed like he was going to just play on that sort of torn whatever during the NBA Finals. Like he came out of the locker room to finish his foul shots, and apparently it was reported that he was running and doing sprints down, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the locker room to like see if he could still play on it. And that's crazy that he would do that. So, yeah, that's definitely crazy. Well, there's the big injury, and also, you know, facilitating, not the greatest, only averaged barely 2 assists, maybe a little bit over. And obviously having Steph Curry on your team and Draymond Green are both pretty decent ball facilitators. You don't really have to worry about that, but I would like to see that maybe added to his game a little bit more of a passing game for sure. But you know, when Klay Thompson getting the ball, it's either a wide open 3 or he's making a bucket at some point in time. So that's definitely very true. Okay, guys, this is now where it gets really hard, and definitely 4 through 6 were really hard to choose from. Again, you can throw this in any order, but again, top 2, number 1 and number 2 are also players that can be thrown in any order, and it'll be totally fine. So again, as it's in my start of the video, my opinion doesn't matter. It's very nitpicky, and it's very, maybe even stupid that I'm saying this player over this player, but at number 2, and yes, I did look it up on ESPN, he is listed as a shooting guard, and even on 2K, I think he's listed as a shooting guard, is Luka Doncic. I know. Luka Doncic is an amazing player, absolutely killer. He averaged 28.8 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 8.8 assists. It's just crazy. It's so crazy. Definitely a player who's probably going to be the best player on our championship team in the future. Will it be on the Dallas Mavericks? Who knows? But as of right now, it looks like that's the case. He averaged over a steal a game as well, with 75% from free throw shooting, not the greatest, and 31% from 3, again, not the greatest, but he's averaging almost 9 threes a game. So he's making about 3 threes a game on 9 shots, not the greatest. So again, very nitpicky when I'm saying Luka at 2. Luka is going, like I said, going to be one of the best players in the NBA. Already is, arguably. He's definitely going to be an MVP in contention next season. He could even win it next season. That's the thing. That's super crazy. But I really hate to say this, but a player at number 1 has been doing it longer. Luka Doncic is only in his second, going into 3rd year. Player 1, spoiler alert, has an MVP and plays a lot like Luka does. Luka does not have that yet. Luka is younger. Luka is an amazing floor general, though. He is definitely a yappier player. Tells the team, we need to do this, this, and this. Gets the crowd hype. He's a very a floor general type player, which is perfect for what you need for a cornerstone player. But like I said, efficiency-wise, not super crazy. Barely 30% from 3, 46% from the field, which is good, but it's still obviously not the greatest. 75% okay, not the greatest. So efficiency-wise, he's good. He's really good, but he's not over the top. Like, oh my god. Also defense-wise, a steal a game is pretty decent, but it's again nothing you can really go for a total complete player. Neither is player one, but again, just a younger player who I feel like obviously will be the best shooting guard in the league at some point in time. And again, this is probably so stupid, and I feel really dumb saying it. And also, just a player one has been on a better team as well in the regular season. But and if you know what I'm saying that James Harden, in my opinion, is probably maybe not. I don't know. It's very hard for me to say this, but maybe James Harden is still the best shooting guard in the NBA. So he's at number one on my list. James Harden this past season, averaged 34 points per game this past season, which again, one of the best scorers in the league for sure. Averaged almost 2 steals a game, almost a block a game, on 7.5 assists, 6.6 rebounds, 86% from the free throw line, averaging nearly 12 free throws a game. 12 easy points right off rip he's averaging. That's so crazy. 35 rounded up. You can add rounded up to 36% from 3 on 12 shots. He's averaging 12 3-point shots a game at 36%. Crazy. 44% from the field goal range, which again, for how many shots he puts up, is not even that bad for 44%. It's so crazy. And like I said, obviously I really do like James Harden's game. James Harden is ex-MVP. James Harden, he is an amazing scorer. Maybe the best we've seen. Maybe. Obviously he uses the advantage of, the era we play in, the foul calls, the 3-point line, the 3-point shooting volume is, obviously he uses that to advantages as well. He has a killer step back, great handles. People are arguing a lot if James Harden should just be the point guard of the Houston Rockets, and maybe in this upcoming season he will be if they do trade Russell Westbrook, who knows, but James Harden has also just been on a better teams than Luka has. Maybe that will change, but the Mavs definitely maybe need a little bit more work and tune up than the Rockets do. Obviously the Rockets just keep running into the best team in the West every year with, the Lakers and the Warriors. It seems like they always, get a little bit too in over their heads, but James Harden is just, he is such an amazing scorer and facilitator and a better defender than what people give him credit for, at least nowadays. He used to be really bad, but now he plays it a little bit better. Yeah, I don't know. They play so similarly, even though you could probably say that Luka maybe is a little bit more of a well-rounded playmaker or a better rebounder, this, that, and the other, but I think they play pretty similar, and I don't know, maybe if Luka played more years, I would give it to Luka, and obviously in a few years it will be Luka, no doubt about it, but right now, I think I'm saying James Harden is the best, or at least number one on my list for shooting guards. Again, you can list these players any way you want. Like I said, 1 and 2 are very hard to switch up and think of. 4 through 6 were really hard to switch up, and even the last couple ones at 10 through 7 were really hard to put into order. But again, that's what's fun about this. It's just my opinion. Who cares? But yeah, I really wanted to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Maybe leave a comment down below what position I should do next. If I should do power forwards next, which obviously isn't the best position in the NBA, not since probably like the 2000s, or the small forwards, which is definitely a very exciting one. I think I'm going to do point guards last because that might be the most sort of highlighted one. Obviously point guards in the NBA are super crazy and very good, so maybe I'll leave that one for last, but if I should do small forwards or power forwards next, let me know. And yeah, tomorrow I'll be posting part 2 of the video I posted yesterday. I'm not going to say it, so you have to check it out. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you relaxed or were entertained. Either way, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in my next video very, 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 very soon. Alright guys, bye.